Hey everyone, this is Stephen Robles, and if you didn't hear, Apple just discontinued the iPod, the iconic music player that has been around for over a decade, I guess almost 2 decades now. And Apple will no longer be manufacturing them while supplies last. The iPod Touch is really the only one you can still get directly from Apple. And the iPod Touch is really nostalgic for me. I actually still have my original iPod Touch. This is the model that came out in 2007, the same year as the original iPhone. So I wanted to do just a little tribute to the iPod Touches. I actually have a few here. I have the original iPod Touch first generation from 2007. I actually have the 2009 version. This was the second generation iPod Touch. And I have some newer iPod Touches as well because I got them for my kids later. And they were just great for a non-iPhone device that runs iOS. And the original iPod Touch, it still turns on and works great. The date's not wrong. I got to hook it up to the Wi-Fi. But I want to do just a little tribute, kind of go through some of the original iPod Touch operating system to see how it still functions, which it does. I mean, it still works, so we'll see. But the reason why I got the iPod Touch in 2007, my family was on Sprint, I was in college at the time, and the iPhone was only available for Singular, which then became AT&T. So I couldn't get the iPhone when it came out, but what I could get was the closest thing to it. And that's why I asked for an iPod Touch for Christmas that year, and that's why I got this in 2007. I even have the case that I used. It was like this plasticky case. I don't even know where I would have gotten this from. It's a Griffin case. I kept it in pretty good condition all these years later. There's not really any major cracks or scratches on the screen. Again, it all works great. The back, I mean, it's pretty scratched up. You know, these had that mirror aluminum finish, and this one especially, this is the 2009 iPod Touch. You could see it is very scratched up. But this one, it turns on, but it doesn't load the operating system, so I can't do anything. I will say, this second generation iPod Touch really has some like iPhone 3GS vibes with this curved back, but it was the, shiny aluminum as opposed to that, I think it was just black on the iPhone 3G and 3GS. But let's even real quick compare it to the iPhone 13 Pro. Here's the 13 Pro on the left. Here's the original iPod Touch on the right. What was amazing to me was always how thin the iPod Touch was. I mean, again, the phones have gotten a little thicker since the iPhone 6, but I always loved how thin the iPod Touch was. So a lot of times I would use it outside of the case. It's got the 30-pin connector instead of lightning, and still has that headphone jack. Original iPod Touch had that headphone jack. And yes, I still have multiple 30-pin connectors just in case. So I'm going to keep this plugged in and charging because the battery's not going to last very long on this 15-year-old device. Let's see, 2007, 15-year-old device. So there it is. There's an old charging battery. You like that skeuomorphism there. Sleep button is at the top, not on the side, and again, headphone jack on the bottom. So let's slide to unlock. Man, that slide to unlock still feels great after all these years. So here we go, slide to unlock. It's got the wrong date and time. Once we connect it to Wi-Fi, we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna go to the settings app here. No True Tone or anything, so it looks a little bluish here on camera. I'm gonna connect to the Wi-Fi. So I just put in the password. Let's see if it accepts it and actually connects to the Wi-Fi. 2007 iPod Touch is thinking, oh no. Oh, I wonder if, because it doesn't have Wi-Fi N or whatever, that's not going to connect. Well, it does look like it's going to join the Wi-Fi network. So let's see what we can get to without the Wi-Fi. Let me go back here. So we got our notifications. We got our notification settings. Tap Tap Revenge. I remember playing that game a ton. Let's go here to General and About. What are we running here? So this is running version 3.1.3. It doesn't say iOS. It was called iOS at this point, but only 3 versions in. This is the 16 gigabyte iPod Touch version, so that's funny. Wallpapers. Let me see what wallpapers they had. Oh yeah, I remember the old school iPod. You got the globe, which is what I had set right now. Got some Van Gogh and Mona Lisa. It's amazing. Keyboard. Okay, so let's jump into some apps here. You got music, video, photos, mail contacts. And see, it's not going to connect to the Wi-Fi, so we're not going to be able to do some of those online things. But let's check out Notes. I remember Notes. What do I even have in here? You know what? I was actually using this after we had our first child in 2009. We were traveling to New York from Florida, and so this is actually the Notes app with our travel packing list. And I love it's got that marker felt font. That's what it was back when this came out. So that's amazing. So marker felt font. So still got Notes in there. Let's see what else we got. Photos. No idea what's in the Photos app. I guess it only has that one photo. Yep, I guess it's just a screenshot. You can still pinch and zoom. That multi-touch, pinch and zoom, that's it. All right, let's check out the music app. Oh, will it play something? That's the question. Where are the volume buttons? I guess there's no volume buttons. I didn't realize that. I guess the music would only play out of the headphone jack. You have to do sound effects for the headphone jack. But man, when you rotate this in landscape, how many of you remember cover flow? Still got cover flow here. Very cool. Let me go back home. Let's see what else we can do without internet. We got the calculator. We all remember that skeuomorphic design. Very cool. The App Store. I don't think anything's going to load without Wi-Fi, but let's see if the App Store shows us anything. Yeah, you're not going to connect to any of those Wi-Fi networks. Cannot connect to App Store. All right, let's see. What else? Got the clock. Oh my goodness, I forgot about that skeuomorphic clock design. That's serious. All right, let's see. Weather. It's not going to show us anything. Yep, the little weather cards. Oh, still doing Yahoo Weather right there. Maps. The Maps app was still Google Maps. I don't know if you see that Google logo right there. No Apple Maps yet in this version 3. This was still Google Maps loaded into the stock Maps app here on the iPod Touch. That's interesting. Got the stocks. I think stocks were a little bit different back then. Let's see, what was Apple? 326. That was before a couple of stock splits, I believe. That was the stock app, whatever that was, 13 years ago. YouTube, man, that YouTube, that TV app is something else. It's not going to load anything, but man, I remember all of that. Contacts, mail. Let's see what else we got. Maybe calendar. Can we see any events here? Calendar, still almost the same. Just remove the blue, and everything's just white in the new calendar app. See anything else on here? See, now this is where it was at. This had all these games, and I remember when I got my wife this iPod Touch in 2009. I remember we would play Tap Tap Revenge together. Let's see if it still works. Tap Tap Revenge. It's still running it. Oh my goodness. Tap Tap Revenge. Let's see, one player. Let's go easy. Oh man, it's going to work, isn't it? Here's Tap Tap Revenge, original iPod Touch from 2007. Oh man. I can't hear anything that's happening. Anyway, Tap Tap Revenge still works on this original iPod Touch. Still kind of love this form factor. Mirror finish. Got that black plastic for the Wi-Fi antenna most likely. Slide to unlock. Still feels great. Let me unplug it so we can see the wallpaper one more time. There's that globe, iconic wallpaper. And yeah, this was kind of the only iPod Touch that looked like this, because then it went to that iPhone 3GS style, and then, modern iPod Touches, extremely thin, and just kind of the slate black. This one had that little punch thing where you can put the loop around there. But yeah, man. But yeah, fond memories of the iPod Touch. Well, I just want to do that short tribute on the iPod Touch. It was one of my favorite devices. I remember web apps. There was no app store with the original launch of the iPhone and iPod Touch, so doing a lot of web apps on this. I also remember jailbreaking this thing a couple times and then restoring it to default. I had the Cydia app store and did some weird things with jailbreaking and then put it back to the stock OS. This is just a little tribute to the iPod, iPod Touch, iPod Nano, iPod Mini, all the iPods out there, iPod Shuffle. And yeah, it was my first iOS device before the iPhone. So hope you enjoyed. If you liked seeing this throwback to the original iPod Touch, hit a like, subscribe to the channel. I got Apple content, podcasting content, how to make a website, all of that's there. There's also a lot of iPhone tips in the shorts on this channel. You can check those out. And don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter as well. Shoot me your questions there. I'd love to make some more tutorial and how-to videos on that. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you next time.